Good morning. It's February 7th, 2018. Well, whenever time I say that, it just seems weird. You like my fireplace? I thought that was pretty cool. Been doing some tropical fish in the background, but I thought, hey, let's do a fireplace. Although it's warmer here today. Yesterday we got up to about 80, and supposed to get up about 80 today. So finally, a little bit warmer weather than it has been. Um, Hey, you know something? There's a car floating around in space around the Earth this morning. Ah, that is pretty awesome. Uh, if you check out today's vlog video I put up this morning, you'll see I got a picture of this car with Starman sitting in the car, driving around, and he's out in space with Davy Bowie music playing in the background. I didn't use the David Bowie music because of copyrights, but the real one has David Bowie playing in the background. That was pretty cool. That was a neat rocket launch yesterday. We spent most of the day trying to set things up and make that work, and it's one of the hardest things to film is things in the air. Rocket launches and airplanes and things like that. It's really not easy to film, but I ended up got some footage and made up my daily vlog on it, and so check it out. It's online right now. It was pretty cool. I was kind of happy with the whole video turned out. So hey, this morning let's see what the temperature is. What's the temperature in DeLand, Florida?
In DeLand, it's partly cloudy and 62, with mostly cloudy skies and a high of 80 in the forecast.
62 is not bad. 80 is going to be our high. You can't beat that weather. This week it looks like it's all going to be good for the next week in the 80s. I was over that cold. It's just like I just don't do well with the cold. Let's see if we got a good joke from her this morning. Tell us a joke.
What is the difference between a well-dressed man on a unicycle and a poorly dressed man on a bicycle? A tire.
Just one. There's just one tire. That's the only difference. That's crazy. Yeah, that was a better one, though. Her jokes have been pretty lackluster recently, so it's crazy. Yeah, I was thinking this morning I'd talk a little bit about taxes. Oh my gosh, I hate taxes. But this is a lot of people will get refunds. You start to fill out your income tax. They withhold out of your wages, and a lot of times you'll get some of that money back. At least you hope you do. For me, I had nothing worse than having to dig up money that you don't have and pay your government what seems like you're paying for nothing. I know it's to the government and it's operating expenses, but they waste it. That's the biggest problem is they waste our tax money. But it's doing your taxes a little bit different than it used to be. Back in the old days, you had your 1040 and you would sit there and you'd fill it out by hand. And now you can go online, and there's a lot of services out there that you can fill out your taxes right online. You can e-file it, so you don't even have to send it in the mail, and do the whole route. Now, these services are free, but now they do offer different things. They'll offer audits, they'll offer you this and offer that for a fee, and that's how they make their money, is the fees that they attach to it, and you choose to or not to do it, and I think there's some forms you fill out, it costs you extra, and I think some of them will charge you extra if you have state income tax. Now, Florida, we don't have state income tax. When I lived up in Ohio, we had state income tax. Ohio was crazy taxes. They had state income tax, and then you had local taxes. Like your cities would charge you a tax, and it seemed like Ohio had tons of taxes. Now Florida has them; they're built in. one thing helps is tourism. They do collect tax from tourism, and that relieves the burden a little bit from the residents of Florida. And so, there's bed tax, all kind of little tourism taxes that they put on there. If you ever moved from another state to Florida, we always called it your Welcome to Florida package. And when you get your car plates and driver's license all switched over, for one vehicle, that's going to cost you just about $400 to transfer another state into Florida. So that's your Welcome to Florida package. So it's expensive to do that. So Florida does make up the differences in their taxes. I mean, they find it. Believe me, every place you live, the taxes are built in somewhere, whether it be sales tax, little hidden tax like license plates, gas tax, all this stuff gets built in, and so they find the money. It's just in different areas. Some states don't have a sales tax. I think Delaware didn't used to have sales tax, which is cool if you're just visiting there. I used to go to Ocean City, Maryland, and Delaware was just up the road. And if you don't buy much of anything, you would just go up across the line to Delaware and buy your stuff because there was no sales tax, and so that saved you some money. It's the same way when you do online shopping. A lot of times they don't charge you online shopping. Don't charge you no tax. They'll charge you for shipping, but no tax. And Amazon's got some deals with their Prime. If you belong to Amazon Prime, there's a few benefits like next day shipping or 2 day shipping, and it's free, and so you get some of those benefits like through Amazon, but you pay it a monthly fee. I mean, within that they have you can watch some videos and stuff, and you can get some music and stuff there from it. So they have a few other advantages to it. If you use Amazon a lot, you can save those taxes. You can save some shipping fees, and I actually sign up. I'm an Amazon affiliate. What that means is I've signed up with Amazon that if I mention Amazon in any of my videos and direct someone to Amazon, when they buy something, they'll give me a little commission, a little payback from that, but it doesn't cost the person anything. So if you check that link here in my description below, you'll see an Amazon link. If you click on that, and if you're going to buy something anyways, hit that link, make your purchases. It won't cost you nothing, not one red penny, but it'll help me out a little bit, help my channel out, help me as a person. I'm retired. You don't make no money in retirement. In fact, I just lost $134 out of my Social Security check. That's quite a hunk, and my Social Security check is small. So, but anyways, that would help me out. But then, anyways, taxes. We just had people were getting more money in their paychecks. They did this tax bill that they just passed, and people are already getting more money in their monthly paycheck. Now, years ago, and I couldn't tell you what president it was in office, they kind of did the same thing. Now, I don't know if this will be this way with this tax cut, but what happened is you started getting more money in your paycheck every week, but at the end of the year, you still paid the same tax rate. Now, I don't think that's going to occur here, but this was a concern that I had. So next year when you file out your taxes, they took out less money every week, which put more money in your paycheck. But you still had to pay the tax at the end of the year. Now, I don't know if this is a fact or not. If anybody knows any facts on that, leave comments below. We'll talk about this more. But this is kind of like a concern that I have. Being retired, I don't think I get Social Security, and it's so small you don't even have to worry about the tax on it because there's nothing there, But for other people working, it's a concern. Now every week you got a few more bucks to play, but make sure you don't have to pay those bucks at the end of the next year when you do your taxes. So don't know if that's a fact or not. It was just a thought that I had, and I just want to be aware of that. So, hey, the thing I was thinking about here is, you know, when I was younger, one of the big things I wanted to do is buy a home. Um, when I first started out, I rented an apartment. I rented a mobile home, and uh, you pay that out, and think, I want my own home, and back then it was hard. You needed a down payment. You still need a down payment, but the hardest thing was to find that money to come with the down payment. I was never made a big income, made a small income, and took just about everything you had to keep things going, pay your rent, car payments and insurances and food and all the stuff it takes to live. So it was so hard to be able to come up with money for down payment to get your own home. I finally did that. It took a long, long time, and I finally bought my first home. And since the first one, I've owned a home ever since. Um, but then there's a lot of responsibility that comes with owning a home. And so owning a home versus renting, uh, there's a lot of things that you don't have to be responsible for when you're renting. If there's a break in the home, say the AC breaks or plumbing breaks or, electricity has something broke, the landlord generally takes care of that. A good landlord. There's some bad landlords that don't fix what they should, but a good landlord will take care of that, and you don't have to worry about that. Generally you have to mow the yard. Some places don't have no yard to mow, or it does include that in the rent. But all that stuff that comes on is part of the landlord's responsibility, and by paying rent, you don't have to worry about that. Where if you own it, something breaks down and you have to fix that yourselves. I just a week or so ago had to put a pressure switch on my well, and luckily I can do this stuff. I've always been handy and be able to do some of those repairs. If I had to pay somebody, I don't think I could afford to even keep up with the repairs. So I was able to fix this pressure switch, and it wasn't all that expensive. I think I maybe had 35, $40 in parts. And for curiosity, after I fixed the switch on the pump, I did a search. What would it cost if I had a plumber to do that? And it would be somewhere around $475 to $500 compared to paying around $40. So if you're going to own a home, to be in mechanically and be able to fix stuff, anybody can do it. A lot of people say, "I can't do that." Well, you are capable. You can learn to do that. And I learned out of necessity because I never had the funds to pay somebody else. I'd love to just say, do this, call the plumber. But I never could do that because I never could afford to do that. So, anybody can learn to do repairs. And today it's much easier. Go to YouTube, anything you want to do. YouTube, there's a video that shows you how to do it. Even though I'm, most things, I still go to YouTube and just see how this guy does it, and get the fine points of it. So, it's such a great way to learn how to do anything. YouTube is such a wealth of information. I try to make videos. In fact, I did a video on repairing this well switch, this pressure switch, and so hopefully somebody will see that, look at it, and maybe they can see how I did it and help them learn how to do it. And so that can save you a ton of money by doing things yourself. There's a few things in a home that require specialized equipment that the equipment just costs too much. You can't afford to buy the equipment to do it. I can do some things with air conditioning, but I don't have the things to check the freon levels and the equipment to put freon back in it, and so I sometimes have to call someone to help me out with that. There's other mechanical issues on it that I can change. One of the a condenser, there's a capacitor in there that a lot of times will cause an issue, And you can buy those capacitors, and it's basically 3 or 4 wires. You plug it in, and you're done. You just find the right capacitor, and it's listed on there. Go to one of the supply stores, you buy the capacitor, change it. Again, I replaced that some time ago, and I think it was $30 for the capacitor. I had changed one prior to that. It was over $300 to have the guy come out. Quite a savings, you know. And I did some research on YouTube and figured out how to do it on it. So, but anyways, to the versus owning versus renting, there's a lot of advantages by renting, because you don't have to do that. If you're one that don't want to try to fix anything on your own, or just have the funds to pay somebody to do it, you know, that you can decide rent or own. But renting can have that. Some disadvantages of renting is whatever you do, you have to usually consult with the landlord. You know, I don't know. Some of them don't allow you to paint. Depends on. I guess they have contracts that you have to do certain things. You know, if you want to paint a room, you might have to go ask the landlord painting a room, or landscaping. I don't know. You might have to ask them about landscaping. You know, there's different. You're under the landlord's eyes or rules. Where owning, you can kind of do what you want. You know, if you want to park a yellow Volkswagen on your roof, I suppose you can, unless you belong on these stupid HOAs. I don't know. Some people love those things, but I don't know why. HOA is when you own your home, but they tell you what you can and can't do around your home. That's crazy. I don't care what anybody thinks. That's crazy. You can't leave your garage door open. I saw one on an HOH here recently where they required you to leave your garage door open. How crazy is that? Here, I'll open my door, leave it open all the time, and the thieves and crooks and burglars can see what I have, and they can decide if they want to break into my home or not, because they know you have this or that. I mean, that's so crazy. You know, HOAs, I can't paint my house purple because they don't allow it. That's not one of their approved colors. It's my house. You know, I'm not going to paint my house purple, but if I wanted to, I probably could. Oh, I know I could. You know, so you know that is one of the things. My brother had he built a new home in this allotment up in South Carolina, and when he bought the lot, you know, this wasn't an HOA lot, and he built his home. One of the first homes they built in that allotment, and after a while, they decided, hey, we want an HOA in here, and they come around and said, now we'll need you to join this HOA, and he goes, I'm not joining that thing, you know, and well, but he goes, everybody in here is going to be in it. And he goes, well, I'm not. He goes, when I bought this, there wasn't no HOA, and I'm not joining one, you know, and still, once in a while, they'll try to give him a hassle. He has a camper, you know. Hey, you know, you can't park your camper here. And he goes, I sure can. It's my house. If I want to park my camper here, I'll park my camper here, you know. And there was nothing they could do because he was grandfathered in before they started this stupid HOA there in that allotment. And so, you know, they'll try to battle him now and then. And that's probably the wrong thing for them to try to do because he won't put up with it. And I don't blame him, you know. So yeah, I would never. I know if you buy into one of those and you know it's what it is, well, you ask for that. You know, that's what you want. Apparently, that's what you enjoy. You know, but to change something, it's just like my neighborhood's not an HOA, and they come down here and say, "Hey, we're going to make this an HOA," and I'm like, "Oh, good for you." You know, I won't be part of it. You know, I won't go by your rules. I go by my rules because I own this property. So that's advantage. You know, you own your property. There's advantages, things you can do. Whereas, say, like an HOA, it's more like a rent because they tell you, oh, you can't do that. You know, your grass is too tall. You know, I'll mow my grass when I feel like mowing my grass, and I try to keep mine up. But you know, if I didn't want to mow it for a while, I wouldn't have to. I don't need that. So you know, we had a new roof. Hurricane blew the roof off, and oh, you got to have this color roof. Well, no, we picked a nice color. We liked it. Love the color we picked on our roof. So you know, that's my choice of picking whatever color I want. You know. So, anyways, you know, that was kind of mine. I thought we'd talk a little bit about homeowners versus renting. And if any of you guys have any thoughts on it there, leave a comment, we'll talk about it more. Same with the taxes, any thoughts about taxes and what I thought about. I don't know my theory that, you might end up paying that tax back anyways. I don't know, that's a fact. And I would like to hear other people's opinions. So, hey, leave me some comments, we can talk about this more on it. That's what this morning chat's about. Like I said once before, it's like a couple of people sitting around the coffee shop and getting ready to go to work, and they have coffee and they talk about what's going on. It could be the rocket launch. That was what was going on yesterday. They're still getting, over that. And a few days ago, that Super Bowl is one thing they were all talking about. And that's what these chats are about. Just come on, morning, what's going on in this world? If you have something you want to talk about that irritates you, we'll talk about it. Don't know if we can solve it, but we talk about it. So I hope you enjoyed this morning's coffee chat. I already drank my coffee. By the time I get these started, my coffee's already gone. I get up really early. I enjoy. A guy yesterday came on and said, I can't sleep or be bored. It's like, well, I'm not. I love this time of day. I love getting up early. And I'm not bored. I never get bored. There's so many things if I'm not doing it, there's things I could be doing. So, all right, everybody, hey, enjoy your, this is Wednesday. Enjoy your Wednesday. Parts of the country is going to be colder. Let's just check in real quickly up north. What's the temperature in Worcester, Ohio? That's where I came from.
In Worcester, it's snowing and 21, with cloudy skies and a high of 24 in the forecast.
Yes.
There's also a winter weather advisory in effect until 4 p.m. today.
Oh, it sounds like a bad day up there. That's why I moved. I used to live in Worcester, Ohio. That's why I moved from Worcester down here. And yeah, I hope they do well. Be careful on the roads up there in Worcester, so it can get nasty. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Make it a good Wednesday.